But next up, we're going to talk about Christian Cage's promo. And, being interrupted by Team Taz, potentially trying to recruit him. So, what did you think about that?
Well, I was scrolling through the timeline before Dynamite tonight, just kind of scrolling, just getting the vibe of the general audience, like fan base out there and stuff. And then and I saw Taz throw out that tweet where he's like, "I'm cutting the BS. I'm in the mood to recruit tonight. Like I'm bringing somebody on board." He seemed very serious tonight. Taz was focused. But between this segment where he interrupted Cage, he made a lot of sense. I mean, he was obviously Taz. We've always appreciated that he's an intelligent guy. He's always when he cuts promos, they're hard hitting. The guy is always on point, and he tells it like it is. So he kind of gave the audience a quick backstory of Christian and I go way back, and everything he said made a lot of sense. He sees a lot of disruption going on in his own crew. Maybe getting like where he can't keep them all together himself. Taz is kind of recognizing that this is starting to get out of control. Having a calming presence like Christian, a smart veteran who could buy into what Taz is teaching these guys and preaching to these guys, who can lead by example. Taz did a great job pitching it to Christian and making it make sense.
True.
Outside of just the Brian Cage, Christian Cage. Having two Cages in his tandem in his team, it made sense coming from Taz's perspective. He's reaching out to an old colleague that he sees like this guy can help reel these youngsters. Brian Cage is kind of an established veteran himself, but these guys can kind of Christian can kind of reel in these big personalities,
right?
Bring them all together, calm them down, recognize and help lead by example. That said. The next segment we got to see these guys in. Taz tried his best to squash that inner turmoil and say, guys, we're trying to recruit somebody into our group. We gotta stick together here. There has to be a Team Taz for Christian to come to. You got to stop stirring the pot, Ricky. So I thought that Taz was really a star. Yeah, Taz was a star of tonight. Anytime that he's on the mic. Bonds and I always talk about it. We're big fans of how Taz cuts a promo, how he commands the audience's attention, doesn't insult our intelligence. He did a nice job tonight. I'm curious to see. I highly doubt that Christian accepts this, but we've seen crazier things.
Yeah, you're right. There is crazier things to see. Like